So it's a new year. So this is when people start to plan, set goals, and create new year resolution. But I think it would be kind of fun to just go back to 2021 and reminisce on what happened, especially in the world of finance and investing. A lot of things happened and it was a really great year. So in today's video, we're going to be talking about the top performing stocks in the Ghana Stock Exchange and how much they made in terms of capital growth. And I just think it's going to be a great idea just to see how much money we could have made if we invested just some of our money into these stocks, or just to have a fair idea of how much money people made investing into these stocks. Because trust me when I tell you, the numbers are insane.
$1,000 in 11 days. You what?
Guys, before we begin this video, comment down below right now the company you think was the top gainer of the year. I would love to see if anyone can get it right. Now, the 11th company or the 11th top gainer of 2021 in terms of stock was Gull Company Limited. Now, if you don't know what Gull Company is, it's a petroleum company, and the mission of the company is to market quality petroleum and other energy products and services in a safe, ethical, and healthy manner. Now, in terms of growth, they made a 21.3% growth in capital gain or in equity just last year, and they were the 11th. Now, a 21.3% growth in equity just for a year is absolutely amazing, since as an investor my average is to go for a 10%. So just to make a 21.3% just from one stock, absolutely amazing. Now, a fun fact is the Gull Company Limited used to be called AJIP Petroleum. Sounds a little bit weird, but it only just got named Gull Company in 2019 when majority of its shares were sold to government. So fun to know that it's not just a government owned company, but it's also private owned, and about 34.3% of its shares is owned by government. That's the majority of its shares owned by government. Now, in terms of its growth, or what caused it to increase in terms of equity to up to a 21.3% change, some of it has to do with increase in prices of oil or petroleum. Now, that might seem bad for drivers, but looks to be working for the investors of Gull and other petroleum companies. Now, let's get to the next one. Now, the 10th company or the 10th top gainer of 2021 in stocks is Untitled Chapter Bank. Now, I've got to say, banks are really killing it, and a lot of banks made it in this list. Now, Untitled Chapter Bank made up to a 24.5% increase just in equity. Not a lot from what Gull made, but really substantial, 24.5%. Now, ninth on the list, Shocker, is another bank, and this is GCB Bank with a 29.4% increase in capital growth. Amazing. Like, I literally don't know why banks are killing it this year. Like I said, it has to do with them just making more from interest rates. I just think right now in the economy, Ghanaians just feel like they should borrow more, regardless of interest and inflation rates being high, because wow, first of all, salaries are not that much to cope with increasing prices. The 8th on the list is Republic Bank. Banks are really killing it. I'm not going to give an idea of why I think this is happening, but you should just know banks are killing it. Like I said, I should just forget investing into other things and just put all my money into bank shares, because they're really killing it. Now, if you guys don't know, Republic Bank used to be HFC, and I was really surprised when I learned Republic and HFC are the same thing. They just rebranded to Republic Bank, and seems they are killing it, because last year they made up to 46.3% growth in capital gains, and that's absolutely amazing. Just to think you can make 46.3% gains by investing into a stock. The 7th company or the 7th top gainer on this list is none other than the king of telecommunications, MTN Ghana. Now, it's made a capital gain of 60.9% just last year. and that's very amazing. 60.9%. I know MTN has been getting a lot of bad narratives about it recently, but you can't deny the fact that MTN is still the king of telecommunication. Like literally in Ghana, there's no other network that can compare to MTN. It's literally the king. It's leading in its industry up to a 60.9%. Wow! Seriously, that's amazing, and that's just seventh on the list. Now, like I said, because of a lot of bad narratives in having to do with the e-levy, MTN has been reducing quite substantially during the new year. That's this current 2 weeks we've been in during this year, but it's still one of the best companies in Ghana, and you can't deny the fact that it's going to continue growing and growing regardless of how many setback it has. Right now, the setback being the e-levy, which I would love to also know your thoughts on it. What are your thoughts about e-levy? Do you think it's something that's supposed to exist? Should government just go ahead with it, or you don't like it? Comment it down below. I'd love to know your thoughts about that. But definitely, MTN has been losing in its share price, and I'm even planning on making a video about why that's happening, why MTN's share price is reducing in value. So make sure to subscribe if you want to know more about that. But definitely still one of the best companies in Ghana with a 60.9% in capital gains just 2021. The state company is EcoBank Transitional Incorporated. Now this is just the larger subset that owns EcoBank, the actual bank that exists in Ghana. So it's just the broader company, and it was set with a capital gain of 75% just a year. Like, where are we getting to? We are only at 6 on the list, and banks are really like I'm done. Like, I'm literally not going to invest in anything other than banks. 75% return. Like, you guys might be thinking I'm just listing some percentage, but just to think about it. Like I said, I made an Excel spreadsheet to go into detail on this, just to give you a fair bit of idea of how much money you can make if you invested into this top Guinness of 2021 with ETI. That's the ticker symbol for EcoBank Transitional Incorporated, with a capital gain of 75%. I'll leave it. I think I'll put it on my Instagram, and I might leave it on the screen for you guys to see. Definitely. So, like, without you, if you guys can see this Excel spreadsheet, you have a little bit or a more fair idea of how much money you can make, especially 75%. That's a lot, like, seriously, because as an average investor, what we try to set out for, even a 10% gain is marvelous. So just to have 75% gain just in a year, absolutely amazing. Now we are done with the small boys in this top Guinness competition. We are down to the top 5, and the 5th is Total Petroleum Ghana Limited, and it made a 77.4% gain just in capital growth. And this is absolutely amazing. It's another one of the big boys when it comes to the petroleum industry in Ghana. Like I said, Gold was the first with a 21.3% gain just last year in growth, and Total Petroleum Ghana just catapulted to 5th on the list with a 77.4% growth in capital gains. So that's absolutely amazing. Like I said with Gold, some of it has to do with the fact that prices of fuel, oil, and petroleum just skyrocketed during last year, so that has a lot to do with it. But then again, it's just the investors of the company who are benefiting from this. So that's really nice to see that the petroleum industry in Ghana is really a strong one. Now, the 4th on the list of this top Guinness in 2021 is Enterprise Group Limited, and made a growth of 99.3% just in equity of 2021. So really great to see. Now, if you don't know what Enterprise Group Limited is, it's one of the leading and a lot of people don't know this, but it's one of the leading insurance companies in Ghana. Like really, anything that has to do with insurance, actually everyone goes to Enterprise Group Limited for that. Being it funeral, birth insurance for your car, insurance for your child's education, for a house, for your mortgage, like literally everything that has to do with insurance. And it's even nice to know that Snit invests using Enterprise Groups Limited. And really, I don't really see any other insurance company reaching the level that Enterprise has, especially in Ghana. Now, before we go to the top 3 Guinness of the year, I think we should talk about the top 3 losers of the year. And this is just to show that regardless of how many wins you make, there's always going to be losses, and that you shouldn't just pride yourself of being a genius because you made this investment and it got or it increased in price. Because we are, if you really think about it, we are still in a quite bullish market, and regardless of what you invested, it's probably going to increase in value. And that's compared to 3 previous years when we were in a quite bearish market and everything was just going down and down and down. So don't just see yourself as this genius, and it doesn't matter how good your strategy is and who you listen to. There's a little bit of luck in this whole investing thing. Even though you can follow a good strategy, you can listen to the right people. Who is to know what is supposed to increase in value in the future? So I just think it's nice to also see the top losers of 2021. And starting off on this list is PBC. That's the ticker symbol for Produce Buying Company Limited. I haven't really researched a lot into this company, so I don't really know a lot about it, but all I know is they made an equity loss of negative 25% last year, and that was bad. That's even worse than the 11th Ghana on the top Guinness list. That's Go Ghana Limited, which made 21.3%. This one made negative 25% in loss. Now the third loser of the year was sad to see, and it was Access Bank Ghana with a negative 28.3% in capital gain. And that's really sad to see, especially when a lot of banks were in the top Ghana list. So it goes to show what we're doing different from the other banks. Now I don't know, I haven't really researched into this top losers list. I did most of my research into the top Guinness list, so I really have to sit down and research into why they were at loss. And I think it will be a logical reason, because I really don't see why they are part of this losers list, especially when a lot of banks did really phenomenal in 2021. The second on the list is Unilever Ghana Limited, and it made a capital loss of 29%. And despite really much hate seeing this, even though he has a lot of money, this really isn't going to be good for his shareholders. They would want to see an improvement in the years to come. Now, got to say, coming to the latter part of the year, it did make some money, but I'm judging it based on the whole year, from January of last year to December of last year. So regardless of how much good it made within the latter part or the latter quarter of the year, it still didn't match up to the loss it made at the earlier stages or the earlier quarters of the year, and they ended up with a negative 29% in terms of capital loss. And on top of this losers list is CPC, Cocoa Processing Limited, and they came out with negative 33.5% just in capital loss. When you really think about it, what's happening to Ghana? And I think this one question a lot of us need to just sit down and think about. Ghana is one of the major exporters of cocoa, but the processing of cocoa is the top loser in terms of capital growth in the country, with negative 33.3% just in capital gain losses, and that's really bad. It's really, really bad. Now, I've been monitoring this share price, the company CPC's company share price for a while, and I've got to say there's not a lot of movement in it. So it was really shocking to me to even see it in a lot, because I don't really think it's one of the least traded stocks on the Ghana Stock Exchange. So to come up with a loss is really I'm out of words. I really don't know what to say. But this just showcases the kind of economy we are in. We being one of the major exporters of cocoa in Africa, and still when it comes to cocoa, one of the major things we export, we are losing money in it. Like, it doesn't really make a lot of sense. But like I said, I've done a lot of research. I don't really know what amounted to them making negative 33.3% in terms of capital gains losses, but it's just something for us to sit down and really think about. So that's the top losers of the year. Now let's move to the top 3 Guinness of the year. On number 3, the third on the list, is Guinness Ghana Limited. Let me pronounce the name. Guinness Ghana Brewery Limited, and it made a perfect number. It came out with a capital gains of 100%, exactly 100% for the year. So wow, Ghanaians really love to drink. I've got to say, but it's good for the investors. Guinness Ghana Limited, but they don't only produce alcoholic drinks. If I remember correctly, Malta Guinness is a product of theirs, but I stand to be corrected. They have a wide range of products. Well, literally, they have a wide range of products, and goes to show Ghanaians love their products. Them coming up with 100% growth, even in the pandemic. Okay, but I think, yes, I forgot about it. If you really think about it, during the pandemic, they shifted a lot of their resources into producing sanitizers, so that could also amount to the capital gains growth of 100%, because during the pandemic a lot of people were in need of sanitizers, so it goes to show the demand was there, and they were one of the people or companies that were supplying it, so they made a lot of money from it. But I'm not sure all the money came from the selling of sanitizers. Like I said, Ghanaians love to drink all their alcoholic beverages and other drinks to contributed a little to them making 100% growth in equity. And got to say, I love seeing that number on them. Now, the second best performing stock of 2021 is Benson Oil Palm Plantation Limited, BOPP, if I'm not mistaken. Now, it came up with a 233% increase in capital growth. Now, this is more than half what the third on the list made. A 233% increase in capital gains. Wow, amazing, Charlie. Hey, 233% increase in growth. Amazing. Now, like I said, prices of oil increased last year. It's increased drastically. It was the third commodity that really increased last year, with I think houses being on top of the list. Prices of houses really skyrocketed last year, but I think oil was third on the list, if I'm not mistaken. I stand to be corrected. But 233%, and that goes to show that's why Gulf and Total Petroleum Company also increased in value. But Benson more into the selling of oil and oil related products are on top. Sorry, second on the list. But wow, 233% growth in value. Amazing, just amazing. I have nothing to say. Amazing. Before we move to the first on the list, I hope you guys have already commented. If you haven't, just pause the video right now and comment down below. I said I would love to know what company you think was first on the list. Now, the first and the best performing company stock of Ghana Stock Exchange in 2021 is, can I get a drum roll? Farm Milk Limited. Oh my goodness, did anyone get that right? Now they say the best stock is Farm Milk Limited with an equity growth of 270%. Wow, like my mind is literally blown. When I was researching this, 270% growth just in a year by Farm Milk Limited. And I said Ghanaians love alcohol. Well, looks like we love Farm Milk more. Now, if you guys don't know, I'm invested into Farm Milk and I made a whole video about it. If you want to start investing into stocks, I'll leave that video up there. It's titled I bought Farm Milk at age 18. It goes into details about everything in investing in Ghana stock or investing into the Ghana Stock Exchange. So I'll leave it in the description below and in the end card, so you can just quickly watch that right after watching this video. But in that video I talk about how I bought Farm Milk, and this is more of a psychological investment that I made. But even though the research were backing me, I just love Farm Milk, and that's just one thing you should all strive to do, because like I said, we shouldn't regardless of the strategy you take, it might end up being a loss. So you should just find something or a company you love regardless of what it's doing. Like I love Farm Milk, and regardless of how much capital gains it make, I'll still continue to use their products. I love it, absolutely, I love it very much. But it's very nice to know that regardless of the love I have for it, it's still making growth, a 270% growth. Wow. Really amazing. So that is the end of the video. Did you guys guess any of the top companies, or did any company surprise you? Let me know down in the description below. So that's the end of this video. Comment down below if you are invested in any of these stocks or you are planning to invest in any of these stocks. Also comment down below if you have any questions for me, or reach out to me on Instagram at AOKHagan. I would love to reply to any of your questions, and I would love to get back to you. Thank you so much for watching to the very end. And if you've enjoyed this video, please make sure to subscribe to the channel, turn on post notification, and share the video to your loved ones, because who wouldn't love to reminisce on the top performing stocks of 2021, and you can just use it as something to gaze upon when moving into this new year and seeing what stocks to invest in, or what stocks you could potentially put on your watch list. Thank you so much. Until we meet again, have a wonderful rest of your day. Peace.